Okay, let's dive into this explainer and build a really actionable step-by-step roadmap for launching a highly lucrative career in cybersecurity by 2026. If you've been wondering how to actually break into one of the most in-demand fields on the planet right now, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to cut through the noise and give you the definitive steps for starting your cybersecurity journey.
Here's the game plan for today. We'll be covering the cybersecurity talent crisis, fundamentals and feeder roles, your step-by-step career roadmap, choosing your specialization path, and finally, certifications and peak salaries. All right, Section 1, the cybersecurity talent crisis. Because honestly, understanding this severe global crisis is basically the key to understanding your new career. I want you to think about this number for a second. 0.1%. That is the incredibly slow rate at which the global cybersecurity workforce is actually growing each year. Not 10%, actually not even 1%, 0.1%. Meanwhile, cyber attacks are surging by an astronomical 38% every single year, with AI-powered threats making that curve even steeper. So what does that actually look like on the ground? Well, the sheer scale of the void is staggering. Right now, there are 4.8 million unfilled cybersecurity jobs worldwide. Just think about that. Because of this massive gap, 70% of organizations actually attribute their security breaches directly to a lack of skilled talent. The market isn't just growing, it's literally screaming for professionals who know how to protect digital assets. So what exactly is the job? A cybersecurity professional is essentially the immune system for our digital infrastructure. You're not just reacting when things go wrong, you are constantly monitoring systems, containing damage, and designing architectures that assume, right off the bat, that an attack is eventually gonna happen. It's an intellectually active, high-stakes career where the threat landscape just changes every single week.
Moving right along to Section 2, fundamentals and feeder roles. Now, you might be surprised to learn that you absolutely don't need to be some sort of coding genius on day one.
There really is no single starting point. A lot of successful professionals enter through foundational feeder roles. So, whether you're currently working in IT support, serving as a network admin, or, even coming from an entirely different analytical background like financial risk analysis, you're spending those first couple of years building essential skills. You learn troubleshooting, operating systems, and network protocols, which is basically the foundation of how the internet and business infrastructures actually work. And the shift from a standard systems user to an active defender perfectly captures the mental shift you need to make during that early phase. You're transitioning your cognitive paradigm away from someone who just passively clicks and operates things. Instead of groaning when a system crashes, you start asking how you could purposefully crash it yourself. Because understanding how a system can be compromised, that is the very first step to securing it. Okay, Section 3, your step-by-step career roadmap. This is probably what you've been waiting for. The exact execution plan to get you hired.
EC Council University outlines this proven 5-step progression. Notice you don't just jump straight into hacking. First, you learn the fundamentals, like networking, Linux, and cloud basics. Second, you build hands-on experience in safe environments. Third, document everything to build a portfolio. Fourth, pursue structured programs or degrees to guide your path. And fifth, earn those industry-recognized certifications that recruiters are actively searching for.
To make this super concrete, we've mapped out a first 90 days action plan to turn that abstract roadmap into calendar-ready milestones. If you want to break into this field, consider this your ultimate blueprint for the next 3 months. Month 1, days 1 to 30. You are building your foundation. Go ahead and install VirtualBox on your computer. It's totally free. Set up Kali Linux inside it just to get a feel for the industry-standard operating system. Complete the pre-security path on TryHackMe, and commit to studying just 1 hour a day for your CompTIA Security Plus certification. You're getting hands-on tool experience immediately, because companies hire for demonstrated competence, not just book theory. Moving into the second month, days 31 to 60, you'll specialize based on your own personality. If you want to break things, do Capture the Flag challenges on Hack the Box. If cloud security excites you, go secure some free tier accounts on AWS or Azure. Or, if you like rules and governance, write mock ISO 2700 policies. I know it might not sound as flashy as hacking, but companies pay top dollar for it. Whatever you choose, document your lab work on GitHub or Notion. That portfolio is exactly how you bypass the whole no experience barrier with employers. Finally, month 3, day 61 to 90. You're going to earn that certification, pass the CompTIA Security Plus exam. Then, start networking with pros at free local events like B-Sides. And when you apply for jobs, reference your practical lab work in every single application. Telling a hiring manager, "Hey, I configured a SIM environment in a home lab for 30 days," is infinitely more powerful than just saying you understand security concepts.
Which brings us to Section 4, choosing your specialization path. Let's look at the different domains you can choose, because there is a perfect fit here for literally every personality type.
Getting into the numbers gives you a really clear, realistic financial picture of where you can start. And honestly, even at the entry level, the compensation is highly competitive. Security Operations Center or SOC analysts start between $50,000 and $75,000, and that role alone has seen a massive 31% year-over-year demand increase. It is a fantastic launchpad into the wider industry.
But your day-to-day life is going to vary wildly depending on the path you take. You might choose a steady, observant role as the watchman, a SOC analyst, triaging live alerts and defending the network in real time. Or you might prefer the high-energy, technically demanding thrill of being an ethical hacker or pen tester, actively breaking into your own company's systems before the malicious actors do, just so you can patch the vulnerabilities. And finally, Section 5, certifications and peak salaries. Let's look at the absolute summit of this career path and how the right credentials unlock truly life-changing earning potential. Depending on the path you choose, targeting specific certifications will drastically accelerate your value. You usually start with Security Plus, but later on you might target the OSCP if you want to be an elite red teamer, or the highly prestigious CISSP if you're aiming for executive leadership and management. These aren't just badges to put on a resume, they are literal gateways to new salary tiers. The financial ceiling in cybersecurity is incredibly high. For instance, the median salary of $124,910 for an information security analyst, that is just the midpoint. With 4 to 6 years of dedicated experience and the right certs, you can rapidly scale into architectural roles earning over $230,000, or executive leadership roles clearing well over $250,000. And at the absolute peak, Chief Information Security Officers, or CISOs, are established business leaders. Recent benchmark reports show the top 1% of CISOs earn over $3.2 million in total compensation. That's heavily driven by massive equity packages. Plus, because of the enormous responsibilities they carry, 71% now receive critical executive protections like directors and officers insurance. They have a true, undeniably important seat at the corporate table. So, we've seen the roadmap, the salaries, and the massive talent gap. But the biggest takeaway here is the real-world impact. Every system you protect is a hospital that keeps treating patients, a financial institution that secures people's life savings, or a small business that keeps its doors open. The attackers out there? Yeah, they don't have a workforce shortage. They're growing every day. So the only question left to ask yourself today is this: which side of this digital battlefield are you going to be on?